I thought I was doing everything right, walking every day, stretching, even lifting light weights. But one small mistake after my workout nearly sent me to the ER. I'm sharing this because no one warned me, and it could save your life, or the life of someone you love. Asterisk, I was proud of my workout routine. Till this happened, I never considered myself old. Sure, I had a few more gray hairs, a few more creaks in the knees, and I occasionally forgot where I put my glasses, but deep down, I still felt young. And when I retired, I made a promise to myself. I wouldn't let age slow me down. That's when I really started to get serious about exercise. Not the kind of workouts you see on TV with people flipping tires and running marathons, but the steady, meaningful kind. Morning walks around the park, stretching in the living room, a few sets of light dumbbells a couple of times a week. Even joined a local seniors fitness class that met on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It felt good to move, to breathe, to sweat a little, and honestly, I was proud of myself. I'd sit at family dinners and tell my kids how many steps I took that day or how long I held my plank. Dad's turning into a gym rat, they'd joke. It made me feel alive, relevant, strong again, and in a way, it brought back something I hadn't felt in years, control over my own body. But then, slowly, things started to change. At first I ignored it, just little things. After my walks, I'd feel a bit more drained than usual. I chalked it up to pushing myself harder. My muscles started to ache longer than they used to. I figured that was just part of getting stronger. Then came the dizziness. It was subtle at first, like a gentle sway when I'd stand up after stretching. Sometimes I'd feel lightheaded after a session, but I'd sit down, drink a little water, and push it aside. One morning, after a particularly long walk on a hot day, I came home feeling off. I remember standing in the kitchen, reaching for a glass of water, and the next thing I knew, I was on the floor. My wife found me moments later. I had blacked out. The paramedics came. My blood pressure had plummeted. I was dehydrated. My electrolytes were out of balance. They ran some tests at the hospital and, thankfully, ruled out a heart attack or stroke. But the doctor looked at me with concern and asked, "Tell me about your post-exercise routine." I blinked. "What do you mean?" "I exercise. Come home, maybe drink some water, shower, and carry on with my day." He shook his head. "That's the problem." I was stunned. All this time, I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I was, helping my body stay strong and mobile. But I'd made one crucial mistake. I was treating the end of my workout as the finish line, instead of the start of recovery. You see, no one tells you that what happens after you exercise as a senior is just as important as the workout itself. Your body changes with age. Your muscles recover more slowly, your hydration levels are more fragile, and your blood pressure doesn't regulate as efficiently. If you skip that critical recovery window, it's like putting your car through a race and then turning it off without letting the engine cool. Looking back, there were so many red flags I ignored. I was sweating a lot more than I realized. I wasn't drinking enough water, just a few sips here and there. I never stretched after walking. I wasn't refueling with the right nutrients. I wasn't resting. I was doing the work, but I wasn't giving my body the care it needed to benefit from it. And the truth is, many seniors make this exact same mistake. We're told, exercise is good for you, and it is, but we're not told how to support our bodies after the movement stops. No one talks about post-exercise hydration. No one explains how your muscles need protein to rebuild. No one warns you that failing to cool down your heart rate can actually be dangerous. That night in the hospital, lying under bright fluorescent lights, I realized something terrifying. I wasn't unhealthy because I didn't exercise, putting myself at risk because I was exercising wrong. That was my wake-up call, and that's why I'm sharing this story with you. Not to scare you away from staying active, far from it, but to help you avoid the mistake I made, the kind of mistake that can sneak up on you, even when you're doing your best. Because it's not just about movement, it's about recovery. It's about understanding that after 60, your body needs a new kind of care. The kind that doesn't just build strength, but protects your heart, your joints, your kidneys, and even your brain. That hospital visit changed everything for me. I started asking questions, reading, learning. I spoke to doctors, physicians, and nutritionists. I began to understand the importance of what happens in the hour after you work out. That window right after exercise is when your body is most vulnerable, but also when it has the greatest potential to repair, grow, and thrive. In the coming sections, I'll tell you exactly what I learned, what I was doing wrong, what the experts told me to change, and how my post-exercise routine looks now. First, just let this sink in. If you're over 60 and exercising regularly, that's amazing, truly. But if you're not recovering the right way afterward, you could be doing more harm than good. Don't wait for a scary moment to learn what I had to learn the hard way. Let's fix it now together. The silent saboteur. What I skipped every time. It wasn't until after my hospital scare that I started to understand what was really going on. I kept asking myself, how could something so good from exercise nearly land me in the emergency room? I thought I was doing everything right, but the truth was, there was one simple thing I skipped every time, and it nearly cost me dearly. That silent saboteur. Proper recovery. I had no idea how important it was. I figured once I was done with my workout, be it a walk, Light weights, or a stretching session, that was it. I checked the box. Exercise. Move on with my day. But what I didn't realize is that what you do right after exercise within the first 15 to 30 minutes can make all the difference in how your body responds. And for seniors, that difference can be life-changing. Let me explain. When we exercise, especially after 60, our bodies go through a pretty intense series of events. Our heart rate rises, our blood vessels expand, we sweat to cool off, and our muscles tear slightly to build strength. That's all normal. It's the body's natural response to physical exertion. But once we stop moving, everything starts shifting backhand. That's where the danger lies. You see, as we age, our bodies don't bounce back as quickly. Our circulation slows, our blood pressure drops more easily, and our hydration levels are more fragile. The systems that used to regulate themselves without us noticing now require a bit of manual support, and I was skipping that support completely. Start with hydration, one of the most overlooked elements of post-exercise health. I used to finish my walk, wipe my forehead, and maybe sip half a glass of water. That's it. But I had no idea that after just 30 minutes of light walking in warm weather, a senior can lose up to 1 to 2 pounds of water through sweat even if they don't feel drenched. That loss isn't just about feeling thirsty. It can impact kidney function, joint lubrication, blood pressure, and even mental clarity. I wasn't just underhydrated, I was chronically dehydrated after every workout, and I didn't even know it. Then there's muscle recovery. I assumed that stretching was only something yoga enthusiasts did, or that I'd stretch before exercise, and that would be enough. But I was wrong again. I wasn't doing any post-workout stretching or cool-down exercises. My heart would be racing after a brisk walk, and I'd go straight to sitting down abruptly. No cool-down, no breathing work, nothing. That sudden stop was putting my heart under unnecessary stress. Cooling down properly helps regulate your heartbeat, improves circulation, and prevents the blood from pooling in your legs, which can cause dizziness or fainting. Sound familiar? That's exactly what happened to me in the kitchen the day I collapsed. I had skipped the cool-down, and my heart paid the price. But the silent saboteur wasn't just about what I wasn't doing. It was also about what I wasn't giving my body. After workouts, let's talk about nutrition. I didn't know that the body needs to refuel after exercises with protein and healthy carbs. I used to come home, work up a sweat, and then delay eating for hours. I thought, well, I just burned calories. No need to eat right now. But that mindset was completely backward. As we get older, our muscles begin to lose mass. Naturally, it's called exercise helps slow that loss, but only if we give our muscles what they need to rebuild. And the number one thing they need, protein. According to my doctor, seniors need more protein than younger adults after exercise, not less. Our ability to absorb and use protein decreases with age, so we actually have to be more intentional about getting it. I wasn't giving my muscles the fuel they needed, so instead of growing stronger, I was pushing my body into a recovery deficit. That's why my legs felt weak for days after workouts. That's why my balance seemed off. My muscles were breaking down, and I wasn't helping them rebuild. And finally, let's not forget about electrolytes. I used to think electrolyte drinks were just for athletes or marathon runners. But after 60, even a moderate workout can deplete your sodium, potassium, and magnesium, especially in warmer climates or after sweating. When those electrolytes dip too low, you can experience headaches, confusion, cramps, and yes, even dangerous heart rhythms. I had all those symptoms, and I never once thought it was due to electrolyte loss. It was a blind spot. So, let's recap. What was I skipping every time? Hydration, not drinking enough water after exercising, cool down, not allowing my heart rate to lower, gradually stretching, not giving my muscles a chance to relax and reset, nutrition, not fueling my body with protein and healthy carbs, electrolytes, not replenishing what I lost through sweat. All of this combined into one big, deadly mistake. I was treating my body like it was still 25, but it's not. And that's okay, because with age comes wisdom. The kind of wisdom that says, let's listen to our bodies, let's respect them, let's give them what they need. If you're anything like me, you probably thought post-workout care was optional, something you'd do if you have time. But I'm telling you, it's essential. You wouldn't drive your car cross-country and skip the oil change, would you? So why push your body through exercise and skip the most important part, recovery? The good news is, it's never too late to fix it. In the next section, I'll walk you through the warning signs I missed, subtle clues from my body that were trying to tell me something was wrong. If you've ever felt lightheaded, stiff, unusually tired, or just off after exercise, you won't want to miss it, because those signs, they aren't just aging, they're alerts, and if you know how to read them, they could save your life. The warning signs I ignored, and you shouldn't. Looking back now, I can see them clearly. The warnings, the little red flags my body was waving, begging me to pay attention. At the time, I brushed them off. I told myself they were just part of getting older, or that I had maybe overdone it a little that day. I had no idea these signs were my body's way of whispering, then shouting, something's not right. And that's why I want to share them with you. Because if I had recognized these warning signs sooner, I might have avoided that scary day on my kitchen floor. And if you notice them early, you can make changes before it becomes a crisis. Let's start with one of the most common and most ignored signs: unusual fatigue. I don't mean the normal tiredness you feel after a good walk or a light workout. I mean a kind of deep, lingering exhaustion that doesn't match the effort you put in. The kind where you sit down just for a minute after exercising, and the next thing you know, an hour has passed and you still feel wiped out. That happened to me more than once. I'd come home from my walk, proud of myself for getting my steps in, and then find myself dozing off in the recliner, unable to muster the energy to even get up and shower. At first I thought it was a sign that I was pushing myself in a good way, that my body was working hard. But no, that fatigue was actually my body struggling to recover without the support it needed, without proper hydration, without nutrients, without a chance to cool down. Then came the dizziness. Sometimes it hit me right after I stopped walking. Be standing at the sink, pouring a glass of water, and the room would tilt ever so slightly, a gentle sway, like being on a boat. Other times, it would creep up on me after I'd been sitting for a few minutes post-workout, and then stood up. I'd feel lightheaded, a little unsteady on my feet. Again, I dismissed it. Oh, I just stood up too fast, I'd think. Or, I probably didn't eat enough this morning. But this wasn't just random dizziness. This was my blood pressure struggling to regulate after exercise, a common issue in seniors, especially if we don't cool down properly or replenish fluids and electrolytes. And then there were the muscle cramps. I remember one night in particular. I had gone on my usual walk that morning, nothing extreme. But that night I woke up with my calf seized in a painful knot. It felt like my muscle had turned to stone. I hobbled out of bed, trying to stretch it out, massaging it, wincing. This started happening more often. Calves, feet, sometimes even my hands would cramp up unexpectedly. I thought maybe I needed more potassium, so I started eating more bananas. But the cramps kept coming. What I didn't realize is that I wasn't just low on potassium, I was low on a whole range of electrolytes, because I wasn't rehydrating properly after exercise. Every bead of sweat was carrying away minerals my body desperately needed to function. There was another sign I missed: swelling in my feet and ankles. This one confused me. I thought swelling came from inactivity. But after my walks, I noticed my socks would leave deeper indentations on my ankles. My shoes felt tighter. I shrugged it off, blaming the heat, or assuming it was harmless. But in reality, my circulation was struggling. The lack of proper cooldown and stretching was letting fluid pool in my lower legs, adding stress to my veins and heart. Even my sleep was affected. Some nights, I'd wake up really thirsty. I'd pad to the kitchen and gulp water, like I'd just crossed a dessert. Other nights, I'd wake with a racing heartbeat, feeling uneasy and restless. These were all signs that my body wasn't getting what it needed after I exercised. And here's the most dangerous thing of all. None of these signs felt like an emergency. That's why they're so easy to ignore. They're subtle, they creep up on you, they masquerade as normal, aging, or mild inconvenience. But together, they paint a picture of a body that's not recovering properly, a body that's heading toward danger. When I finally talked to my doctor about these symptoms, my blackout, he explained it so clearly. Your body was trying to tell you. The dizziness, the cramps, the fatigue, they're not just nuisances, they're warnings. You need to listen. That hit me hard, because the truth is, I wasn't listening. I was too focused on checking off my exercise goals, too eager to prove that I was still strong and capable, to notice that I was putting myself at risk. So let me ask you, have you noticed any of these signs after exercise? Do you feel wiped out for hours after what should be a simple workout? Do you ever feel dizzy when you stand up after walking or stretching? Are you getting muscle cramps that wake you at night or strike during the day? Have you seen swelling in your feet or ankles that wasn't there before? Are you waking up thirsty or with a racing heart? If the answer is yes, Yvonne, to just one of these, don't brush it off. Don't tell yourself it's just part of getting older, because it's not. It's your body's way of asking for help. The good news, the help is simple. It starts with recognizing these signs for what they are, opportunities to change course. In the next section, I'll tell you about that turning point for me today. My doctor sat me down and shared the simple strategies that transformed my routine. Strategies that helped me feel stronger, more energized, and safe after every workout. You don't have to wait for a scary moment to start listening to your body. You can start today. What my doctor told me changed everything. Sitting in that cold, sterile room at the clinic, with my blood pressure cuff still squeezing my arm and my wife watching silently from the corner, I felt like a student who had failed a test he didn't even know he was taking. My doctor, kind but direct, sat across from me and asked, "Do you know what happened to your body after you exercised?" I hesitated, unsure how to answer. "I exercised. And then I stopped," I said awkwardly. He leaned forward and said something I'll never forget. "That's the problem. You think the workout ends when the movement stops? But for someone your age, the recovery phase is just as important." That's when everything started to click. He pulled out a diagram of the body and walked me through what happens when we exercise in our 60s and beyond. And let me tell you, it's a far more delicate process than I ever imagined. Your heart works harder during exercise, he explained. It's pumping blood faster, your vessels expand, your body heats up, and you start sweating to cool yourself down. That's all normal. But when you stop abruptly, no cool down, no hydration, no nourishment, it's like pulling the plug on a machine that's still running. I was silent. He was right. That's exactly what I was doing. Then he went on to list the critical mistakes I had been making gently, but firmly, and gave me a step-by-step guide that changed everything about the way I treat my body after exercise. Let me share exactly what he told me, because these simple, actionable steps have transformed not only my post-exercise routine, but how I feel throughout the day. Step 1. Never skip the cool down. Your heart is like an engine, he said. After a workout, you can't just slam the brakes. You need to let it idle and come back to baseline. He recommended I walk slowly for 5 to 10 minutes after any moderate activity. Even if I just walked in place at home, or strolled gently around the block, it would help prevent blood from pooling in my legs and reduce the risk of dizziness or sudden blood pressure drops. I started doing this every time. After my main walk, I would give myself permission to cool down intentionally, no rushing back inside. I'd walk slowly, focus on deep breathing, and feel my body settle. What a difference it made. Step 2. Rehydrate immediately with more than just water. Water is good, he said, but after a workout, it's often not enough, especially for someone over 60. That surprised me. I thought water alone was the magic fix. But he explained how our bodies lose electrolytes, sodium, potassium, magnesium through sweat, and without replenishing them, I was putting myself at risk for cramps, confusion, and even irregular heart rhythms. He recommended I drink a glass of water, mixed with a pinch of sea salt and a splash of natural juice, like orange or coconut water for electrolytes. Or, if I preferred, a low-sugar electrolyte drink designed for seniors. I began doing this, and the results were immediate. My cramps vanished. My sleep improved. I even felt less tired during the day. Step 3. Refuel with protein and a small amount of carbohydrates. I told my doctor I usually didn't feel hungry right after exercise. Sometimes I'd skip eating for hours. His response was blunt. That's one of the worst things you can do. Your muscles are hungry. They need fuel to repair and grow stronger. He told me about sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass. Seniors, he explained, actually need more protein, not less, to rebuild tissue after exercise. A small protein-rich snack within 30 minutes of finishing my activity could speed up recovery, reduce soreness, and protect my strength over time. He suggested simple options like a boiled egg and a slice of whole grain toast, a protein shake made with almond milk, Greek yogurt with berries, a handful of nuts, and a banana. I started small, a shake on some days, a boiled egg and fruit on others. It didn't take much, but it made a world of difference. I stopped feeling wiped out. My muscles didn't ache for days. I felt strong, resilient. Step 4. Gentle stretching and breath work. This one surprised me. I thought stretching was optional, something you did if you had extra time. But he insisted it was essential. Stretching helps your muscles release tension, he explained. And breathing exercises restore oxygen flow. Together they tell your nervous system, we're safe now. It's time to rest and repair. He taught me a few simple stretches for my calves, hamstrings, shoulders, and back. Nothing fancy. Just 5 to 10 minutes of mindful movement after my cool down. He also introduced me to box breathing. Inhale for 4 counts. Hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold again for 4. I'll admit I felt silly doing it at first, but the peace it brought me afterward was undeniable. It became a kind of ritual, a way to honor my body for what it had just done. Step 5. Rest without guilt. The last thing he told me hit me emotionally. You don't have to prove anything. You've already done the work. Rest is part of the work now. That one stuck with me. Too often, I'd finish exercising and feel like I needed to rush to chores, errands, or tasks. I didn't want to seem lazy, but I didn't realize how hard my body was working after the movement stopped. Now, I build in 15 to 30 minutes of quiet time after every workout. Sometimes it's sitting outside. Sometimes it's lying down with a cold glass of water and soft music. No phone, no pressure, just rest. And the benefits? Incredible. Better sleep. Less inflammation. Calmer moods. I don't feel drained anymore. I feel restored. The lesson I wish I knew sooner. My doctor didn't give me a lecture that day. He gave me a second chance, a chance to understand that exercise is only half the story. The other half is how you treat your body after the movement. And now, I want to pass that second chance on to you. If you're exercising, and I hope you are, don't stop there. Don't make the mistake I did, thinking the work ends when the walking stops. Because what comes next, cooling down, rehydrating, refueling, stretching, and resting, is where the magic happens. That's where your body becomes stronger, healthier, and safer. In the final section, I'll show you exactly what my new post-exercise routine looks like now. You'll see every step I take to recover and recharge. I promise it's simple, doable, and worth every second. My new routine, and while I'll never go back, I still go for my daily walks. I still do my stretching sessions and light strength workouts a few times a week. But today, my body feels very different, stronger, more balanced, more alive. Not because I've increased my workout time, not because I've gotten younger, but because I finally understand what comes after the workout is just as important as the exercise itself. And I want to walk you through my complete post-exercise routine. Nothing extreme, no fancy equipment, just real, simple steps that keep my heart calm, my muscles happy, and my mind sharp so I can enjoy life, not just push through it. Step 1. The 5-minute cool-down walk. Right after I finish walking I mean immediately after I begin my cool-down. I used to just stop, come inside, and sit down. Now, I give my body time to land softly. For about 5 minutes, I slow my pace to a very gentle walk. If I'm outside, I make one last, slow lap around the block. If I'm indoors, I march slowly in place or walk around the living room. During this time, I focus on deep, even breathing. I inhale through my nose, exhale through my mouth, and let my heart rate come down gradually. No talking, no rushing, just presence. This small habit alone has reduced my post-exercise dizziness and made me feel calmer throughout the day. Step 2. Stretch plus breathe 10 minutes max. Once I'm done with the cool down, I move into stretching. Nothing intense, just enough to release the muscles I used. Here's what I do. Hamstring stretch, sit on the floor. Reach toward toes, calf. Stretch, lean forward into a wall. One leg behind shoulder circles and chest openers for upper body. Tension, spinal twists. Seated or standing, each stretch lasts about 20 to 30 seconds. I do 2 rounds, breathing slowly through each one. I don't push my body too hard, just until I feel the tension melt away. Sometimes I do it while listening to soft music, or even outside on the porch. This routine clears my head and resets my nervous system. It's like telling my body, you're safe now, you've done well. And let me say this clearly, I sleep better on the days I stretch, period. Step 3. Hydration with electrolytes. Before, I used to drink a little water and move on. Now, hydration is non-negotiable. After I stretch, I drink a full 12 to 16 ounces of water, but not just plain water, because I learned that sweat takes more than just fluid with it. Here's my go-to rehydration drink: a pinch of sea salt, a splash of lemon juice or unsweetened coconut water, a bit of raw honey optional mixed into cool filtered water. Or, on days I need a faster option, I drink a low-sugar electrolyte packet mixed into a bottle of water. No energy drinks, no heavy sugar. The result: fewer headaches, no more cramps at night. My energy rebounds faster. I feel nourished, not drained. Step 4. Refuel with protein and healthy carbs. I used to wait too long to eat after exercising sometimes. Skipping meals altogether, I thought I was saving calories, but I was starving my muscles of the nutrients they needed to recover and grow. Now, I eat within 30 to 45 minutes after finishing. I don't overthink it. I just choose something that has at least 15 to 20 grams of protein, a little healthy carbohydrate, a bit of fat for satiety. Here are my favorite quick meals: a hard-boiled egg, a few whole grain crackers, and a slice of avocado, a Greek yogurt with berries and a drizzle of honey, a protein shake made with almond milk, banana and peanut butter, cottage cheese with fruit and a sprinkle of chia seeds. Nothing fancy, just food that tells my body, let's rebuild. And guess what? My post-exercise soreness is way down. My strength is up. I don't feel like I'm dragging through the day anymore. Step 5. Rest and recharge without guilt. This might be the hardest one of all for us seniors. After we exercise, we often feel the need to get back to work. Maybe it's housework, errands, phone calls, or cooking for the family. We think resting afterward is lazy, but it's not. Rest is the reward for effort. And now, I give myself 20-30 minutes to do nothing after my recovery routine. Sometimes I sit outside with my feet up and a cool drink. Sometimes I lie down with my eyes closed and listen to a podcast or the birds outside my window. Sometimes I simply breathe in silence and give thanks for what my body just accomplished. This pause helps my body absorb the benefits of the workout. It resets my stress hormones. It calms inflammation. It supports healthy blood pressure. And it gives me clarity for the rest of the day. That little moment of peace, it's become sacred to me. Why I'll never go back. This whole routine from cool down to rest takes me about 30 to 45 minutes total, depending on how much time I have. That's it. It's not complicated. It's not expensive. It doesn't require fancy gadgets or a gym membership. But the impact, it's profound. Since starting this post-exercise recovery routine, I haven't had another dizzy spell. My muscle cramps are gone, my sleep has improved, my energy throughout the day has doubled, my mind feels sharper, and I'm in a better mood. But most importantly, I feel safe when I exercise, not afraid of overdoing it, not unsure if I'll be okay afterward. I know exactly what my body needs, and I give it with gratitude. And if I could go back and whisper something into the ear of my younger self, the version of me who thought collapsing in the kitchen was just a fluke, I would say this: you're not weak. You're just missing the final step. Recovery is the part that gives your workout its power. Don't skip it. And now, I'll say the same to you. If you're exercising, and I truly hope you are, take it one step further. Recover, rehydrate, refuel, rest. Your body has carried you this far. Now it's your turn to carry it, carefully, kindly, and completely.